So I made it to the Katadhin Stream Falls site. Just got out of the truck, walking towards the trailhead now. I'm gonna stop and sign in at the trailhead, and then we'll be on our way. It's about a 1.2 mile hike to the actual falls, so I'm gonna try to get there as quickly as possible, so I won't be doing too much videoing on the way. We're gonna get straight to it. All right. All right. Well, we made it up to Katadhin Stream Falls. And let me tell you, whew, that 1.2 miles was straight up. They didn't tell me that at the bottom. But yeah, so I'm gonna go find a spot to sit down, get some water, maybe get a protein bar or a granola bar or something to eat it so I can get some food in me, restore some of my energy. So yeah, but we're here, so see if we can't go find ourselves a composition. Alright, so found a spot. Pretty obvious composition standing right here in front of me. I'll probably go vertical. Right now I'm just going to eat my snack bar, get some water. But I'm already thinking of putting the camera in portrait and vertical mode to get the entire length of the Katadhin Stream Falls in frame. It'll definitely work out really well because at the bottom, which you can't see right now, the fall starts to curve off to the right, where it'll be the right hand side of the frame, so it'll create a good leading line at the bottom right corner of the frame and lead us up to the top where the falls is at. But yeah, that trail coming up, seems like no joke. And I'll tell you, at the bottom, 1.2 miles straight up, I guess if they did that, people probably wouldn't come up as often. But like I said, start of the day we were doing 3 waterfalls. We're getting 3 waterfalls. I'm not sure yet on, haven't been able to gauge what I think the length of this video is. So you might get a to be continued sometime before this. I don't know. Or it might be just one long video, I don't know. But it's absolutely beautiful here. Baxter State Park in central Maine definitely doesn't disappoint. So if you're ever in Maine, or if you do live in Maine and you have not been to Baxter State Park and done any of the trails here, you need to get yourself out here to Baxter State Park. I spent the last 3 days covering, I want to say, close to 25 miles of this park, climbing double top mountain and everywhere else. It's just an absolutely beautiful place. So, but I'm gonna stop rambling, finish eating this bar, get some more water, and get to shooting. I'll be right back. Okay, so I've got the camera set up on the first composition. Again, I went portrait, vertical, try to capture the entire length, because it's a very tall waterfall. I'll take you off the tripod here in a second to show you what it is like. But I tell you one thing that I can tell you right now, the contrast between greens, browns, and the white water is going to look amazing in this image, because there's very little light that's getting into this waterfall area to begin with. We've got a good cloud cover above us, so it's a dark, luminous scene in front of me. So the greens are just really popping in the frame. So I'm really excited to see what this is going to look like in post-processing. But right now, I've got it at f8 and 1/13 of a second. I don't know that I'm going to need the big stopper to get what I need to smooth this out. Probably a little stopper is all it's going to take to get probably a good 5 or 6 seconds of shutter speed to get that water nice and smooth. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to take you off the tripod turn you around, kind of give you a once over of what we're looking at, and then we'll get things going. Alright, so I'm not sure if you can hear me with that waterfall in front of me, but you can see how I've got this set up. And if you can see inside the camera, that's what the frame is going to look like there. So I'm really excited. I do have these two, this tree right here in front of me that's coming out the side of the ledge that I'm standing on. It's in the foreground along with one of these other branches that's coming into the frame. It doesn't bother me as much because it's actually adding to the image. It's not taking away from it. So this right here is what we're looking at. This is Katadhin Stream Falls. Alright, so we're all set up for the first image. Remember, we're trying to get 3 compositions, which I know from what I'm looking at right now, I'm going to be challenged at this location to find 3 different good compositions just because of the way it is up here. Alright, but so this first one I've already showed you what it looks like. The final settings that we've got are f8, 8 seconds on exposure, ISO 100. I'm at 24 millimeters on focal length on the 16 to 35 and a 2-second timer. That's just absolutely great. The one thing I'm noticing though, those 2 trees that I showed you that were in the foreground, there is the slightest of breeze inside this area right now. So on 8 seconds, these 2 main branches that are in the foreground will have a little bit of movement. They're a little bit blurry. I could go through and take the filters off, go to a quicker shutter speed with no filter and capture the foreground, and then blend the 2 images together. But honestly, I'm not really into doing too much of photo blending in Photoshop. I take what I get, I guess, from the camera. Long exposure means that some of the things are going to be moving. That's just the way it is. So I think we're good on this image. We're going to go ahead and turn this off real quick. I'm going to walk around, try to find those other 2 compositions that I need to have for this waterfall. So here we go. Alright, so this is what we're looking at on this frame. As you can see down at the bottom left-hand corner of the frame, where the pool starts to gather from the water and it starts to calm down a little bit. That's the bottom left-hand corner, and then we'll lead ourselves all the way up and through the image to the waterfall on top. Like I said, you're going to see down there at the bottom of this image in that water where a circular polarizer will definitely do wonders to knock off the glare of that water. But yeah, it's just so beautiful up here. Okay, put you back on the tripod and get this shot done. So final settings for this image: f8, 8 seconds, ISO 100, 2-second timer with the lead little stopper, and no circular polarizer. Truly amazing. I swear, just the greens are so lush, they just pop right off the frame. Alright, so I've made my way to the final composition that we're going to use for today. This is going to be the last image of the day. Instead of going down, which was what I was trying to do for the last 2 images, thinking I'd get a good shot, I decided to climb up higher and get a lot closer. So right now I'm standing virtually on a rock ledge right next to this waterfall. I'm only going to catch the top, most powerful section of the waterfall in this last image, just to try to do just that, capture its power coming down off this mountain. So it's beginning to rain. We had forecast for rain, so it's starting to feel some sprinkles, so I want to get this image in get myself down off this mountain before I get stuck in the rain. So I did turn it to landscape, horizontal on the frame, because it just is able to capture this wide angle right here really well. And I'm all the way out at 16 millimeters on the 16 to 35. So let's go ahead and look at the settings real quick. F8, 8 seconds with the lead little stopper. It's giving a great smooth flow of this waterfall. Really getting those greens, the green moss on all this rocks really are popping out into the frame. So before I take the image, I'm going to take you off real quick, turn you around just so you can see what we're looking at. And you'll also see that I'm running out of battery on my Nikon. And if you can see, literally standing on a ledge right next to this waterfall. It's just absolutely amazing to get up here and be this close to this thing. Yeah, so I'll turn the camera back on real quick just to show you the composition. It's pretty simple. I'm just putting that waterfall in the frame and having the water at the very end at the bottom left-hand corner be the leading line into the frame. It's pretty simple. You can see the settings that I already talked about. 8 seconds, F8, ISO 100. Okay, let's go ahead and get this last image before we start getting hit with this rain and before my battery dies. I've got a spare battery in the bag, but I just want to get it done with before we don't have to take it off the tripod and get a new battery in. Okay. 8 seconds, F8, ISO 100, 2-second timer. And the rain is beginning to fall. Yeah, that's just great. I love it. I'm going to take one more image. I'm going to bring it in a little bit closer. There's a couple of there's some flower bushes or something right down here in the bottom part of the frame. They don't really seem like they belong there. It's not adding to the image. It's probably taking away from it. So I'm going to zoom in. Actually, when I do that, I lose the frame. So we're going to leave it as is. You'll see what I was talking about in the image, those little flowers down there. I just didn't think it did it justice to keep them in there, but they're going to stay. So this is going to be it. I'm going to pack things up and I'm going to head back down to the truck and I'm going to get back to the campsite. I'm not going to bring the camera back out and do any more videoing, so this will be it. Thank you for spending the day with me while we chase these 3 waterfalls. I had a great time out here. I hope you learned something along the way. Hope you enjoyed all the images. If you did, hit the like button. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please subscribe. And I really look forward to getting out there and doing more. I got a lot of things coming up, so there's a big announcement that I'm going to have here real soon. I'm not sure when I'm going to put that announcement out there, but it'll be coming soon. So take care. Thanks for watching as always, and I'll see you next time.